of the day.
Yeah, and for the Purdue Boilermakers, you're kind of relying on your captain here to try to save this meet for you. Matt Ramos, the number 1 ranked wrestler at 125 pounds, the redshirt junior from Lockport, Illinois, taking on the number 12th ranked Patrick McKee, who himself also a 60-year senior from St. Michael, Minnesota.
Good duck under there by McKee early. We mentioned these two very familiar with each other. Ramos started his career as a Gopher, wrestling McKee every day in the room. Realized he wanted to get in the lineup a lot sooner than McKee was on pace to graduate, so went somewhere where he could battle for a starting spot, and it's worked out well for Ramos and the Boilermakers.
Now, as a team, Minnesota may have had this date circled, but as a singular performer wrestler, Matt Ramos has had this one circled on the calendar for a while.
He has, and it's not the first time they've seen each other. I believe Ramos has won the previous 2 matchups as well, so he's trying to go 3-0 in competitions that matter. So far, McKee's got a couple decent shot attempts, and Ramos has been able to hold him at bay. You do see McKee's got a massive sort of knee brace on that left knee.
Yeah, it's got an interesting pad on like the quad. It looks like almost a volleyball knee pad that's turned around and covering up his calf. Ramos shoots the double. Nice job by McKee to hold on. Ramos with that blast double there.
It is a really nice job pinching his knees together, not giving Ramos any room to work. Great counter there by McKee after a fantastic shot by Ramos. And like the official gave that hold time to develop and then stopped it as soon as he saw it was going nowhere. You don't want to waste a second between these two.
Matt Ramos is the unanimous number 1 at 125 pounds for the second time this season. He's only the second Purdue Boilermaker to be unanimous since Intermat began rankings in 1998. As Ramos looks for another opportunity here to double, they're going to stand him up. Under a minute to go, period number 1, and Matt Ramos has had a couple of opportunities, just not able to finish. Great defense by McKee and the Golden Gophers.
Ramos, in this weight class that's been an absolute carousel this year, just lots of top-ranked guys, lots of top 4 guys. Ramos has as good a resume against the field as anyone. So every match matters, of course. Anytime you can get a top 12 victory is a big deal for Ramos. But this is a chance for McKee to not only take down somebody he's familiar with, but to take down the top dog with Kansas City and all those seeding meetings and all those conversations right around the corner.
Ramos looking to finish off the single.
Needs to get his head out this time. Now hips are flat. Purdue bench wanted the takedown. And they run out of time. We'll see. Nope, no brick thrown from the Boilermakers, so they're just going to say let their guy keep wrestling.
And with what we've seen first 4 matchups today, Corey, that was absolutely exciting.
It was.
Back and forth by both wrestlers, no points awarded, no riding time, even as we head into period number 2.
We got 2 more periods of this stuff. We will start with McKee on bottom. Patrick McKee, 2-time All-American for the Gophers. Fell just short last year after finishing 6th at Big Tens. He's got a nice, he's kind of crab walking to try and get step over of Ramos there. Finally gets his 1.
Well, and Ramos had his right arm around McKee's back, and McKee was reaching around and holding on to that arm and using that same leverage against Ramos. He was trying to flip him, if you will. 1-0 advantage for McKee, though, early on here, period number 2.
Ramos able to run up 28 seconds of riding time in that exchange while McKee was going for the reversal.
And with what we can assume is going to be a low-scoring affair here at 125, 1 point is paramount.
Yep. Nice head snap there from McKee. Gets Ramos a little bit off balance.
Matt Ramos looking under a minute here to go period number 2, looking possibly to set up for something here. He attempted that single early on here in this period. Wasn't able to complete the movement, so it'll be interesting to see if Ramos decides to go back to the well on that same movement.
Looked like we got an inadvertent finger to the eye there for the stoppage.
Last double shot from Ramos. McKee catches him. Ramos flips the hips, and Ramos is able to get the 3-point takedown.
That was a really nice initial counter by McKee to keep the blast double, but Ramos finishes through it to get the takedown. Now under 30 seconds to go. We'll see if Ramos goes for the ride out here, or if he's going to try and get a mat return, or if he's going to let McKee go. There's a nice return.
Huge return for Matt Ramos. Looked like Patrick McKee might have hit the side of his head there on that mat return. Under 10 seconds to go. Ramos looking for more.
Yeah, McKee definitely looks a little bit dazed right now on the mat. I think the first thing to hit the mat was his head.
It looks like he hit the side of his face. If we were able to get another look at that, it'd be great, but it looked like he hit the side of his face here.
Huge return there for Ramos. 1:08 in riding time. If he can get up and out quickly here, hold that advantage, it would be a colossal move for the Boilermakers.
Into the third period we go. Ramos with a 3-1 advantage over Patrick McKee. No points awarded. Ramos does get the 1-point escape. 3-point advantage now, but McKee was able to hold on to bring that ride time under a minute, sitting at 59 seconds.
Yep, we said Ramos needed to get out in 8. It took him 9 seconds to get out. The Purdue bench was asking for a stall warning against McKee for just hanging on to the waist, which is a rule change this year. You can't just hang on. It used to be just the ankles. Now it's moved up the body a little bit. McKee takes a stall warning there, and now he's in a little bit of trouble. Ooh, stalemate restart.
Not a good position for Ramos, kind of how McKee fell down. It wasn't a takedown, it was a fall down. They're gonna get to stand him back up. 4-1 here. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. Period number 3. Number 1 ranked wrestler in the country at 125 pounds, Matt Ramos, looking for another ranked victory here against Patrick McKee.
And another reason, just pointing out again why that riding time is so important here. McKee is a takedown away from forcing some victory.
That ties us at 4.
That would tie us at 4. So, that 1 point could be just huge if he gets it or if Ramos doesn't get it.
Under 50 seconds. High tensions here at 125 pounds. Collar and elbow tie as we come up to 30 seconds to go. Period number 3.
We do have that stall warning against McKee, so if we see Ramos continue to push the action, see if McKee, he kind of has to do something himself as well, and there we see a nice shot attempt.
Great sprawl there, defense by Matt Ramos, showing why he is unanimous number 1.
And now Ramos gets hit with a stall warning, but with his 3-point advantage and 10 seconds to go, he'll take that.
And time is going to expire, and the Mavatar, Matt Ramos, slams the hammer down to pick up the victory and defend his number 1 ranking at 125 pounds.
Big win for Ramos. Nice for the Boilermakers to get on the board, and you can see at the end, and he's going to have a nice career for the Gophers. We take a look at our feature bout of the day. Number 4, Michael Blockhus versus number 20, Joey Blaze. We've got senior versus freshman here. We talked about it off the top of the show, and this is a great opportunity for both of these men to get an impressive victory.
Yeah, and we've seen the upperclassmen dominate all day long, but Joey Blaze is not your typical underclassman, if you will, Corey.
No, he's having a great freshman year for the Boilermakers. He's got a couple signature wins as he's put together a 14-6 record on the season.
They're going to stand him back up.
Plays 2-2 in Big Ten dual action this year.
Blaze in the splits, but Blockhus with a nice grip on that right leg, but nice movement there from Blaze, able to duck under. Silky smooth escape from Blaze. They're gonna stand him up.
Yeah, it was a great shot by Blockhus. It looked like he probably finishes that off against most opponents. Blaze with a perfect counter to stay away from points.
It's something to note too as well. We talked about the talents of Joey Blaze. Blaze has the most dual wins of any true freshman in the Big Ten Conference this year. So the future is bright for the freshman from Perrysburg, Ohio, as they stand them up again. Blaze, the fourth true freshman, and the Boilermakers have had to be included in the rankings since the NCAA began releasing them in 2012. Another bright spot here for the Boilermakers is try to get some points here.
Well, like we've said, over the years in wrestling, it is pretty unusual for true freshmen to jump right into the lineup. You have to be a huge talent and hugely confident. Blaze is both of those things for Purdue. There was little doubt coming in last fall. He's probably going to be our guy.
Yeah, Joey Blaze and his whole family, a wrestling family, if you will, from Perrysburg, Ohio. Joey has a younger brother as well.
He does.
He's a talented high school athlete in Ohio. But the real secret, Corey, is Joey's sister. We joked that Joey's sister is the real wrestler in the family. As we're under a minute.
Because her big brothers beat her up all the time. She had to be. Blaze got hit with a stall warning. Another nice counter move there by Blaze. And he's got something working here on the edge. If he can get his head around, Blaze trying to finish off this takedown. Now he needs to get his ankle free, and they are ruled out of bounds. As they were coming back in bounds, they got the stoppage, so 30 seconds.
No score, no ride time. You're right, Corey, as they got close to the mat, you let him go a little bit here.
Now, this is interesting. Blaze got hit with a stall warning in the first period. That is something to keep an eye on. And I think part of the reason a lot of his attacks so far has been counterattacks. So Blockhus is pushing the tempo. He's coming forward. Blaze is going backwards. That makes it appear that he's fleeing. What his game plan is trying to take advantage of Blockhus's aggression and turn that into points on a counterattack. Well, now he's got to be careful because of that stall warning.
It's the Venus flytrap defense, if you will. He's luring him in and kind of backing up to try to catch him as he's attacking on him. Starting from the bottom, no score here as we get underway, period number 2. Ranked matchup here at 157 pounds. Number 4 ranked Michael Blockhus. Number 19th ranked Joey Blaze. It's our featured bout here of the afternoon. And as we get ready to wrap things up here on Big Ten Plus this afternoon on this super matinee Sunday of wrestling. Blockhus just relentless. Blaze's back.
Blaze trying to scoot his hips free on a sit out there. Instead he goes to his feet now. And the Purdue bench again looking for a stall warning as Blockhus is just hanging on to the waist.
Yeah, there was a point there where Blockhus was literally hanging off of Blaze. His feet weren't even on the ground. He was just hanging off of him. And it shows the strength of Joey Blaze. I mean, again, a true freshman, but he is strong as an ox.
Dragging around 157 pounds of his opponent, yeah.
Yep.
I'll tell you one thing that Blockhus is doing right now. He's running that ride time up. It's almost a minute here in the second period.
Blaze was able to break free, but he wasn't able to get the separation that he needed. They're going to stand him back up again at that arm, the elbow joint for an unsafe movement, an unsafe hold. 57.4 seconds to go, period number 2.
There was a stall warning there against Blockhus as well, so now one each on each man.
And Joey Blaze scores the first points of the matchup, a 1-point escape under 45 seconds to go, period number 2.
Now we'll see how much gas that took out of both of these men. That minute and 20-second struggle on the mat.
It honestly appears like Blockhus, his gas tank might be coming close to empty.
It takes a lot of strength to hang on. Now he's got a nice front headlock on Blaze, and they are over on the edge.
Blaze was able to reach up and grab that leg, looking to change the momentum to get a single. No points awarded yet.
So yeah, Blaze was able to change the momentum to grab the leg, but his head was still buried, so there was nothing he could do about it.
He couldn't stand him up and pull the leg through. Under 5 seconds to go, period number 2. And both wrestlers are content to head into period number 3. A 1-0 advantage for Joey Blaze here at 157 pounds.
Now Blockhus will select bottom. He's got 12 seconds to get out because riding time is in his favor, plus 12 seconds. That is worth a point in a really quick restart. Blaze needs to ride for at least 13 seconds to do away with that advantage. See if he can use his length.
A vice grip for Blaze. As Blaze holds on, they're going to award the 1-point escape to Blockhus.
59 seconds of ride time, so Blaze rode for the 13 seconds he needed. Riding time not a factor. It's going to take a takedown to win this thing in regulation.
Now, something we have to remember, both wrestlers have been given a stall warning. So in a tied matchup, if a stall is called, 1 point will be awarded. Have to keep an eye on that here as we wind down in period number 3.
And really the best thing you can do as a wrestler is just keep wrestling. Don't hang out. Don't try and ride out the clock. Keep going and trying to score.
No prevent defenses in wrestling. 1 minute and 16 seconds to go. Ride time still at 59 seconds. Matchup tied at 1. And angrily, Brandon Eggum throws the challenge brick. I mean, he almost threw it at Joey Blaze.
Well, one of his assistant coaches tossed it to him, and then he picked it up and angrily threw it out onto the mat. He was looking for an explanation without the challenge. Now you see assistant coach for Purdue, Leroy Vega, former teammate of Eggum's at Minnesota, out there at center mat, and now Eggum being walked back. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any sort of review. Actually, very confusing situation. It apparently wasn't a challenge. Eggum just wanted an explanation about something. What it did do is buy an extra 30 seconds of rest for both guys. So a minute to go here.
Tony Erzlin hollering on the sideline at Joey Blaze, telling him, you got to finish this, Joe. Under a minute to go.
We've got a stall warning. I'm very confused by hand signals right now. There's a takedown for Blockhus. A stall warning was given, but the referee actually gave it to both guys. So I don't know who the point was awarded to. There's an escape point to Blaze. We've got it at 5-2 on the board right now in favor of Blockhus, as the stall warning apparently went against Blaze. The referee put up both hands out of confusion, and then the action happened so quickly he couldn't clear it out. So officially it's 5-2 in favor of Blockhus. Blaze has to get a takedown here, and riding time continues to be against him.
And Blockhus has to watch out for a stall here. The faithful at Holloway want the stall called. It's not going to be. Coming up on under 15 seconds to go, period number 3.
Well, and at this point it's too late. There's a 3-point advantage with 10 seconds to go, 12 seconds to go.
Yeah.
1 point's not going to matter.
They did award the stall warning.
So now Blaze has to get a takedown in order to face sudden victory, and he will run out of time as Blockhus hems in the ankle. The two men shake hands before they're even off the mat. You'd love to sign a mutual respect there from these two competitors. Good win for Michael Blockhus. He goes to come up just short on that decision. That makes it 36-3 on the team score. As we come to our final bout of the day, Stoney Buell for Purdue, Blaine Brenner for Minnesota.
Stoney Buell, the number 26 ranked wrestler at 165 pounds, and Blaine Brenner, number 27, as Buell gets it started early on, a three-point takedown. Buell's looking for more. They're going to give Stoney Buell a 2-point near fall out of that exchange. So a 5-point swing here in the first 20 seconds of this matchup here in period number 1.
I didn't even see swipes there, so very quick near fall for Buell. Stoney Buell comes into today's action 12 and 9 on the year. He's looking for his third Big Ten dual victory as they roll out of bounds. These are the matches, Craig, that matter so much when it comes to Big Ten seeding. It's somebody you're ranked 26, 27, you're very equal record-wise. Head-to-head is going to determine who ends up on what side of the bracket come Big Ten championship time, next month out in College Park, Maryland. So a big opportunity for both of these men to make a statement here this afternoon.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier on here in this duel about the importance of the ranking and not wanting to get lost in the bottom of the bracket, if you will. And like you said, they're going to remember this here in a couple of weeks. So every matchup matters throughout the season, especially here this afternoon.
The Big Ten at 165 is, well, it's like the Big Ten at every other weight class. There's a lot of talent. Dean Hamidi, Caliendo from Iowa, Messenbrink from Penn State looked really good the other night in defeating Caliendo.
Off the side of the mat there, going to reset. Brenner able to get the 1-point escape. A 5-1 advantage for Joey Blaze. For Stoney Buell. Boilermakers have been dominated all afternoon, except for Matt Ramos at 125 pounds. Boilermakers looking to get their second victory of the day. What was an exciting first period. It's been a little bit of a feeling out process here in period number 2.
We're still in the first, Craig. It's been the tale of two periods here in the same first period.
Well, yeah, and that happens to you in period number 1 here.
Oh, and they go a little extracurriculars as Buell is thrown into the scores table after the whistle. It was a fireman's carry on the edge attempt there by Brenner, and Buell will get an extra couple seconds. As things have gotten a little chippy between these two teams the last couple matches.
Well, I mean, and the one thing you have to notice too, after that happens, again, you lose track of where you are. Both wrestlers kind of acknowledged each other, where you could tell there was no, there wasn't any malice in the toss, if you will.
He did not intend. He immediately reached out, said, "My bad, sorry about that." Stoney was accepting of that.
Yep.
You're 100% right.
But yeah, it has been choppy here today. It's been fun. Under 25 seconds to go, period number 1. Stoney Buell with a 5-1 advantage.
So Buell has the underhook. He's looking to sort of knock his man off kilter to work an opposite ankle pick. Good job by Brenner. Sending that off and creating some separation.
As we move on here into period number 2, what do you want to see from Buell here? He was very aggressive in period number 1, and it seemed to pay off with the 5 points. What do you want to see here in period number 2?
I think you just want to keep your foot on the gas. As we've seen all day, these Minnesota wrestlers are extremely fit, and they're very good. The deeper you go into a match, well, Purdue guys like Stoney Buell need to do that as well. Keep the foot on the gas, stay aggressive, keep trying to score points. Brenner, meanwhile, for his for as controlling as Buell was in that first period at times, it's 5-2. You know, he's still very much in this thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a positive for Brenner. There's an opportunity for him to be down way more than 3 at this point in time.
There is this is one of the few bouts we've had here today that have two guys that are the same age wrestling. So seeing how these two redshirt sophomores learn and grow and figure things out in this match will be fascinating. Buell in on a single. Does a good job of collecting himself, getting his power base.
No points awarded yet. Nice sprawl there by Brenner. Buell holding on tight, deep on that single leg.
Yeah, Brenner posting the head, doing a good job of sinking his hips, lowering his center of gravity, making it hard for Buell to finish off, but he finally does.
And Stone Cold Stoney is going to get the 3-point takedown, an 8-2 advantage.
And a very fast stalemate there. Restart right after Buell gets the takedown.
And Brenner able to get out for the 1-point escape. Stoney Buell the advantage in ride time up to 47 seconds. As we come up under 20 seconds, period number 2. At 165 pounds. Some hand fighting from Buell there. Nice job by Buell avoiding the takedown attempt from Brenner, and Buell comes in within trying to a single leg of his own. A little bit too late. His time's going to expire here in period number 2. Brenner saved by the bell, Corey.
He was. Buell was in pretty good on that single. That was on his great reaction to Brenner's duck under on the edge there. It was a nice, maybe the best shot attempt we've seen from Blaine Brenner here today. So Buell will select bottom to start the third. Brenner shows the optional start.
And Buell is going to get up. It was almost as if he was waiting for Brenner to get on top and get after him, and Buell just kind of took a deep breath and stood up.
Yeah. Yeah, those optional starts are very fascinating. Some guys have very specific attacks they can run out of them. So you always want to be cautious on the bottom. No such thing as a free meal, right?
Oh, not at all. Nice reversal there by Buell. Brenner shot in. Buell able to fight that one off, and both wrestlers off the mat. Going to restart. Collar and elbow tie, center mat. And for the first time this afternoon, a Golden Gopher wrestler is going to have to find something, dig deep here as we come up under 1 minute and 15 seconds to go at 165 pounds, and Blaine Brenner down 6.
Meanwhile, Stoney Buell is another takedown away from a bonus point victory against a ranked wrestler, which you can never have too many of those.
I'm going to stand him up here.
Buell just 5 bonus point wins this season.
Under 1 minute to go now, period number 3. Nice blast double there from Blaine Brenner. He gets the 3-point takedown, but too close to the edge, and
now we're going to get an official challenge from the Purdue bench. They will review it.
Tony Ersland threw that brick with a little less fervor than we saw earlier on from the Minnesota coaching staff. And what are they looking at here, Corey?
I think they're looking at it was right near the edge, so whether or not control was maintained while they were in bounds could be the thing, because it looked very much like a takedown. It's not a question of control as much as a question of whether or not control was attained in bounds. You've got to drag at least 1 foot inside the circle to make it count, as we hopefully can get a look at that right there on the edge. Meanwhile, you saw Coach Ersland immediately come to Buell pretty angry. Like, I think he's thinking the same thing we were talking about early on, that you got to keep your foot on the gas here. We take a look here again. It was a beautiful blast double, and his feet are clearly in. So, frankly, Craig, I'm not sure what they're challenging there. It could not have been an out-of-bounds thing. I was clearly wrong there. I don't know what exactly the coaches for Purdue saw that they didn't like, but the refs are taking some time over there. They're going to come out with a ruling and confirm the takedown.
And to touch on what you were saying about Tony Ersland, it's a silent intensity as almost a reminder to his wrestler, hey, listen, when you get back in there, let's finish this one, all right? We've only won one matchup today. Let's get this one and walk off with a victory.
So they come back to the middle, and officially Brenner is in control. It looks like he's already elected to restart neutral and give the escape point. He likes his chances better on his feet than on top. So, yeah, it was 9-6. It appears that the scoreboard has already given the escape to Buell for the neutral restart.
So they are going to start neutral.
They are going to start neutral and give the escape point. I'm not sure what the refs had to go back and look at. Maybe a riding time question. But we're back underway. Brenner 4 down now.
Buell sprawling backwards. Up 4, under 30 seconds to go. Same position they were with the last time he was taken down. And they're not going to give him the takedown.
Not going to give him a takedown. He never had control of Buell's hips. More importantly, though, Stoney Buell circled back toward the middle, which probably saved him a stall warning. And
nice.
There he gets hit 1-1.
And a nice duck under from Brenner. Trying to get the single. Under 10 seconds to go. Both men looking for positioning here. 3 points are going to be awarded. And time is going to run out. Blaine Brenner not able to finish off Stoney Buell, and Buell gets the 10-9 victory at 165 pounds.
Good job surviving there by Stoney Buell. I thought Brenner was going to get the takedown and turn late. He was unable to